Hey guys, Victoria here, and welcome to the Geeky Sandbox. Today, we're going to be reviewing episode 6 of The Flash titled, When Harry Met Harry. But wait, you might be thinking,
Victoria, where is the review of episode 5, Girls Night Out?
Well, simply put guys, my family from Baltimore that I hadn't seen in many years came down to visit me and my family, and I had to definitely make time for them, so I wasn't able to watch that episode of The Flash in time to upload the video before this video like I thought I would. So my apologies about that, but I will still do a brief recap of what episode 5 was about just for you guys. But back to episode 6, there were a lot of things that happened. I'm going to do my top 10 moments instead of 5 since I missed last week. And we have a lot to talk about. Okay guys, so before we get into episode 6 of The Flash, let's talk really briefly about episode 5, which was titled Girls Night Out. #feminism. It was an empowering and hilarious episode. Drunk Barry is hilarious and loves chicken wings. While Barry's bachelor party was warm and silly, Iris's bachelorette party was the perfect girls' night out in terms of story, character development, and charm, of course. We learned that meanwhile Caitlin was away from Team Flash, she got involved with a bad group of people, specifically a meta named Amunet. And she did this in order to get just a better handle on Killer Frost. She wanted to permanently suppress her abilities as Killer Frost. And this perfectly answers the question of why is Caitlin being so dodgy and edgy, and why is she sneaking around? Killer Frost and Caitlin Snow defeat Amunet with the girls Felicity, Iris, and Cecile, and they end up saving the 4th best meta, the Weeper. However, at the end of the episode, the Weeper is captured by the Thinker as he lets him know, I'm not done with you yet. You need to fulfill what I made you for. Okay guys, let's get into our top 10 moments of episode 6. So first of all, the episode was very funny and quirky, especially the introduction. The introduction of the episode was hilarious. Number 10, Plastic Man, or the Elongated Man, dabble in superhero one-on-one and stop a mugger. Well, shoots one accidentally. In this moment, we get to see exactly what Barry has been teaching Ralph. And he's just kind of, whenever he sees the opportunity, kind of gives him a chance to show off what he's learned. Number 9, we get more from the Thinker, which is what I've been waiting for. His helper or assistant is venting at him, and she's curious, and she just wants to know, like the rest of us, how will this whole thing end? And he simply says, the only way it can, with my victory. Talk about confidence, huh? He knows everything he's gonna do before he even does it. He knows what Team Flash is gonna do before they even do it, and little do they know any of this, really. Number 8, Harry makes his own friends, but they're other versions of himself. Tom Cavanaugh is literal perfection, and I really wonder if he was having as much fun playing all those characters, those different versions of himself, as I probably would have. Gandalf Harry had to be my favorite. The whole bit was actually one of my favorite parts of the entire episode. And with Harry having a very sentimental moment with Cisco was able to throw in a very funny Harry Potter joke, which, you can never go wrong with a nice meta joke from Cisco. Number 7, Ralph gets hypnotized, but guess by who? Barry and Iris's couple therapist. So Barry and Iris takes him to their couple's therapist, and they learn who their next meta target is, Black Bison, which we'll talk more about her in the Easter egg section of this video. Number 6, Ralph gets his costume. It's definitely not what we were expecting, and it sure wasn't at all what he was expecting. But, we're gonna let it roll. We're gonna let this ride because it was a nice prototype made by our very dear friend, Cisco. Number 5, we get a very intense conversation between Ralph and Barry. Now, are we surprised that they're bumping heads? No, but I really feel this conversation that they had was very crucial to the shaping of Ralph's character and just to show how much Barry has grown. Barry and Ralph argue for most of the episode about the importance of saving an innocent life versus saving or, getting the bad guy. At the beginning of the episode, Ralph's mentality was simple. It was just, we need to get the bad guy. If we let the bad guy get away, what kind of superheroes are we? Meanwhile, Barry's just like, we really need to make sure we focus on getting everyone safe. And it's not until a little girl gets hurt while Ralph is selfishly trying to bring in Black Bison that he realizes his mistake, his grave error. Number 4, we learn more about Black Bison. We learn what her motive is and what she's doing out there and how she feels about being a meta. She's very proud to be a meta. She feels that the Thinker's whole plan is just great and it's just the best thing that could have happened to her. And we learn that she's simply after Native American artifacts. She's trying to get them back to where they rightfully belong, get them back to her people, and her plans keep getting foiled by Team Flash. Number 3, Mina, who we know as Black Bison, easily escapes the CCPD. And she escapes in the most ironic way possible, and I really appreciate the writers for incorporating this into the episode. She takes control over a tactical dummy and just unloads on everyone that's in the lobby of CCPD and walks right out next to the dummy. It was beautiful, it was funny, and I really enjoyed it. Number 2, Barry and Ralph fight a T-Rex, well, T-Rex bones. It gave me very much Night at the Museum vibes and Jurassic Park vibes all in one, but it was the most genuine and pure moment to see Barry dart away from that dinosaur. But ultimately, they defeat the dinosaur. Ralph is able to save an innocent person. Meanwhile, Barry captures Black Bison. And finally, number 1. All of Harry's hard work and all of those long hours he spent talking to himself, he figured out who DeVoe is. Joe wants to call backup and do an ambush attack on DeVoe, but Barry is very confident in Team Flash and their abilities, and he's saying, let's just go in and do it ourselves. But little do they know, DeVoe's been listening to their conversations for weeks now, so he already knows they're on their way. So when they finally reach his house, I'm thinking it's going to be some abandoned warehouse, or he's not going to be there, it's going to be another family, something strange, right? But no, his assistant, his friend, whatever you want to call her, she poses as his wife, she dresses up, she answers the door, and she's just kind of like, whoa, what do you want with my husband? And if you're sure you have the right person, then let me grab him. And he rolls up to the door in a wheelchair, and immediately Barry and Joe's mouth is they're just wide open. So is mine. So it kind of leaves you wondering as an audience member, how is Barry and Joe taking this in? Has the blinds been pulled over their eyes, or is Barry seeing right through this? I guess we'll have to wait until next week to find out. Now let's get into our Easter egg section of the video. I only have one important Easter egg that I really want to talk about, and that is Black Bison. In the comic books, Black Bison is actually portrayed as a male character who's usually known by his traditional name, Black Cloud in Mourning. Comic book Black Bison is a Native American man who actually gets his powers in a very, very different way. While on a history museum trip, Black Bison is actually possessed by his great-grandfather, who gave him a talisman which bestowed him with magical powers, which, as we know, are ones that give him the ability to possess inanimate objects. Black Bison has actually made a recent comeback in the New 52 timeline of the DC comic books, in which he's actually teamed up with Hyena and Killer Frost and many more. If you like this video, be sure to give me a like rating down below and let me know, what do you think we're in for next with next week's episode of The Flash? And while I'm at it, if you haven't already, leave me a question that you want answered. Doesn't matter what kind it is. It can be personal, it could be funny, it could be silly, it can be how many acorns are in this jar, if you know, something weird like that, I guess. Or if you just simply want to know my thoughts on some indie film that you've seen that you think I may want to watch, something like that. Be sure to go to this video. I think I'll put like a little thingy up here. Go ahead and click that and then drop me a question that you would love to have answered for my Q&A video. I'm hoping to do one with you guys, and I'm still trying to test the waters to see if you're interested. So if you are, go ahead and drop me a question. My last question, how many of you guys out there are Riverdale fans? If you are, leave a like rating on this video, but mainly let me know if you would like me to review that show. Since postponing American Horror Story, I've kind of been feeling a need to want to review another really good show, especially shows like Riverdale and How to Get Away with Murder and The Walking Dead. There are a lot of things you can theorize on, and I love being able to use the YouTube community to come up with theories about what's happening within certain shows, or what we think is going to happen, or is it a callback to the comic books, or is it a callback to the whatever version of whatever movie or show, you know what I mean? So if you want to see me review Riverdale, leave me a comment down below, or like I said, leave a like rating on this video so that way I can know what to bring to you guys next. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!